There is a secret that Marilyn Monroe had that she used to be able to walk into her higher purpose. It was so effective, and she got so good at it that she could literally turn it on and off like a switch. If you want to learn how to do this, then keep watching. Hello, welcome back to Minded Manifestation. I'm your girl Minded, your faceless spiritual YouTuber friend, and in today's video, I'm talking about the secret technique that Marilyn Monroe used to be able to switch her vibration on and off like a switch. This story was told by one of Marilyn's good friends. I heard about the story at least 7 or 8 years ago, and it was on YouTube, but unfortunately I'm no longer able to find the video. But if I do, I'll leave a link in the description. Basically, Marilyn and her friend were walking down the streets of Broadway one day, and her friend was a bit shocked because at this stage, Marilyn was already a bit famous and people knew her. So she was curious how she was able to walk outside in the streets of New York with everybody around, and yet no one seemed to be looking at her. She seemed to be walking around just like a regular girl. Her friend was very intrigued and was wondering how it was even possible, but yet they kept walking and no one seemed to pay Marilyn any attention. They didn't even look at her. Well, I guess Marilyn noticed her friend's confusion and she turned to her friend and said, "Do you want to see me become her?" Her friend, still confused but completely mesmerized by this phrase, said, "Yes." Marilyn turned around and they continued walking, but now all of a sudden, people started looking at her and people started staring. People started talking to each other and looking and pointing. She could hear people saying, "Oh wait, isn't that her?" Cars were stopping and people were bustling on the roads to see if it was really her. Her friend was truly amazed, as it's as if she flipped a switch like magic and all of a sudden walked into who she was. She called this the Marilyn Monroe effect, and it can be very powerful if you know how to do it and when to do it. It's something that I've been practicing for years now. It's actually very easy to do. All you have to do is take on an assumption and walk into that assumption. One way to do this is whenever you're entering into a space and there are other people there, when you walk through those doors, flip a switch inside you and walk into the assumption of who you want to be and who you want them to see you as. So if you're someone who's generally shy and doesn't talk a lot, when you put your foot through that door, you can take on the assumption that you are very extroverted. People love to talk to you. People find you interesting, and that you're good at conversations, that you're a social butterfly. Take on that assumption when you walk into the room and keep and sit in it and be firm in it. Once you do that, you turn on the switch. Then you can turn it off whenever you please. When I first started doing this, I started doing it when I was walking down the street, just like Marilyn Monroe did. I'd walk down the street, put on the assumption that I was whoever I wanted to be. One day I was a model, the next day I was an actress, the next day I was a singer, just doing whatever I wanted to do to test things out. And every time, someone would stop me on the way and ask me questions as if they'd seen me in a magazine before or they know me from somewhere. And then I started doing it every time I walk into a room. Any place I walk into, whether it's the mall, the grocery store, wherever I walk into, I take on the assumption that I was an abundant, wealthy person, or that I was an interesting person, or that I was a public speaker, that I was mesmerizing. These are all assumptions that I would take on, and it would be fun. I treat it like a game, and that's actually one of the best ways to do this. Is to treat it like a game. Play with it a little bit. The more you do this, the better you'll get at it. You'll get so good that you'll be able to turn on and off however you please, just like Marilyn Monroe. I personally love this technique so much that I actually made a new design for it on Redbubble and Teespring called Flip the Switch. It's kind of an inside joke for us spiritually awakened beings. I really love it. It reminds me every time how she just turned on the assumption and became whoever she wanted to be. So if you want to get that design, I'll link the store down in the description box below. You might also want to take a look at the other abundance and manifestation designs that I have on the store as well. But let me know in the comment section, have you heard about this before? And is that something that you're going to try to do? And do you think that it'll work for you? With all that being said, stay healthy and wealthy and blessed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!